guys, back here with another YouTube video. So in today's video I am doing a Q&A. If you guys don't already know, I have been collecting questions from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course you, my subscribers and some friends, so you guys can get to know me just that little bit better. Just before I jump into this, I just want to mention this is part 1 of part 2 because I've got 33 questions to get through. Right guys, so I've got the questions here on my iPad. Let's just jump straight in. What do you find the hardest to deal with in life and how do you deal with it? So the hardest part I think in my life is I went from being very active and very mobile to quite disabled and in a wheelchair. That's one of the hardest things to deal with, is having a life where I was really active and being able to run and walk to a point now in my life where I've got to deal with being in a wheelchair on a daily basis and not having the mobility that I used to have. Another massive impact is my bowel. The incontinence is a real massive issue to deal with. How do I deal with it? I take each day as it comes. I know that this is a purpose and it's God's purpose, and I keep faith in God. What's your biggest fear? Now that's a tough one. My biggest fear is probably what will happen next with the EDS. What will Ehlers-Danlos syndrome do to me next? That is my biggest fear. What will happen next? If you guys already know, it's done so much to us. My biggest fear is what will happen next. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? If I could live anywhere, I would probably choose to live in Durham, like in a lovely small little village, because I've been brought up in a city. So I think village life, like somewhere like Durham, would be really lovely. I would love to live in Durham. Favourite childhood memory? My favourite childhood memory is probably from the summer holidays and the 6 weeks holidays when I was little. My grandma and granddad always used to take me out to various places like Chelsea Street Park, used to go to Planky Mill, used to go to the coast, like Colour Courts and stuff like that, just to name a few really good childhood memories. Especially loved the 6 weeks holidays. Should we pray to Mother Mary? Is it idolatry? We're not praying to Mary, we are asking her intercession. We don't actually pray to Mary. Mary prays for us, so it's intercessionary prayer. We don't actually pray to her, and no, it's not idolatry. I'm not sure what that question was aiming at. One thing you wish people knew about autism. One thing I wish people knew about autism is that it is a big spectrum. No two autistics are the same. We've got our own strengths and weaknesses, our own interests and our own dislikes, just like anybody. How many cuddly toys do I own? Well, that's a good question. Well over 100, well over 200 probably. Honestly, I've lost count of how many lovely cuddly plushes I have. I love them all very much, especially Ed, my favourite Build-A-Bear, but yeah, lost count. What is my favourite item of clothing? Well, favourite item of clothing. I do like socks. I like novelty in jazzy socks, so I'm going to say socks. What's your favourite quote? My favourite quote is by Saint Therese of Lisieux, and it is, "Remember that nothing is small in the eyes of God. Do all that you do in love." What is your favourite boy name and favourite girl's name? My favourite boy's name is Michael and my favourite girl's name is Hazel Grace. 3 favourite priests in no particular order and why? Oh, okay. Dead or alive? Why did I say that? Shouldn't have said that. Okay, so my 3 favourite priests and why. Definitely Father Andrew. Father Andrew was the hospital chaplain for a while, and he was really good hospital chaplain. I got to know him really well, and I still do know him really well. He's a really, really kind, caring and gentle priest. That is why I like him so much. And Father Peter, of course, is really good. I got to know him over the last 2 years. He's been a really good young priest to our cathedral. He's been really helpful in so many ways. I especially liked young adults prayer group with him. And I'm going to say Father Michael, sadly he's no longer with us, but he was really the kindest, most caring priest, you know, the most caring man you will ever meet. He was so gentle, so kind. Really, really nice. So there you go, my top 3 favourite priests and why. Favourite craft to make and food to make. Favourite craft to make is definitely rosary beads. I just enjoy crafting them and I enjoy being able to sell them, but I also enjoy being able to give them out to people and bring joy to people. And food I like to make is, I like working with gelatine, so I make a lot of different types of jelly dishes. I just love working with gelatine. Biggest insecurity. I think my biggest insecurity would be having my feeding tube. I just don't have the best of relationships with it, although I don't mind it also, but the biggest insecurity would probably be my feeding tube. What age did you start attending church? I started attending church when I was a baby. When I was baptised, that was when I was Methodist, and then I started attending Catholic church when I was 19 years old. Favourite hymn and Gregorian chant. My favourite hymn is How Great Thou Art, and Gregorian chant, I think it said Pangue Lingua. I hope I'm saying it right. I know that it was wrote by St. Thomas Aquinas and I just absolutely love it. Best and worst hospital experience. So the best hospital experience I've probably had, or one of the best hospital experiences I've had, is when I was going to theatre for emergency jaw surgery, and the anaesthetist wrapped my rosary beads around my hand and promised that they would stay there the whole time, and reassured me, really lovely, kind gentleman, and I woke up with them rosary beads in my hand, and it was just a really good experience. A bad hospital experience is probably in A&E when they refused to relocate my shoulder because it had dislocated one too many times for them, and that had basically had enough. Yeah, that's one of the worst hospital experiences. So guys, that's the end of part 1. I hope you guys have enjoyed getting to know me just that little bit more. Please do like, share and subscribe. God bless and stay safe as always.